Right now, on to the point, California's home insurance crisis.
At what point does the entire industry go, I'm not writing new stuff because I got to absorb what I have?
President Trump threatens Canada with another tariff, this one on dairy, as the trade war intensifies. Gift cards for meth users.
Anything that we can do when people want to quit to support them in that journey has so many positive ripple effects.
The incentive program showing positive results. And we're heading to the back roads to an annual celebration and a food fight. Good evening. As always, thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell, and tonight we're diving into California's insurance crisis. This is a topic that ABC 10 has been covering for years, and January's Los Angeles wildfires is really putting a strain on insurance companies as homeowners work to rebuild. Now, many homeowners rely on the state's FAIR Plan. That's the insurance plan that provides coverage to homeowners who can't get private coverage because their properties are deemed too risky to insure. Now the crisis is spreading to newly built homes in areas that aren't prone to wildfires. ABC 10's Becca Habegger spoke with the developer and insurance experts today.
To have these rooftop decks in historic Roseville, you're right next to the tracks as the train's going by now.
Christopher Brown is excited about these 18 new townhomes now for sale in historic Roseville.
Yeah, we just started sales. We're hoping to have first move-ins this summer.
He's the principal of the next group of companies, broker on this project called the Belvedere.
We have over 1,000 people on an interest list.
The interest and excitement are high, but Brown says he now has to worry about something that never used to be an issue with new homes.
This month is my 30th year in this business, and I've never had insurance issues, ever. It's always just been one of those things. Our homes are completed when they're completed. You call your insurance agent and it's taken care of. Now we actually had to go to the extra step of adding disclosures into our purchase agreements because we just don't know what's going to happen.
To be clear, he says he hasn't run into issues at the Belvedere, but he has seen it at other projects he's been involved in throughout Placer County.
We've had some homeowners that were able to get insurance within the community, no problem. And we had homeowners within weeks or months of each other then had to go and get insurance from FAIR Plan.
That's the bare bones, high-cost fire insurance of last resort, required by the state to write policies when other insurers won't. Here in West Roseville, signs of new developments are everywhere, but insurance agents and brokers are having increasingly difficult times finding policies for people buying these homes, many turning to the FAIR Plan. One insurance expert tells me this zip code, 95747, is where many insurers have what's called capacity concerns, nearing or hitting too many customers within a 5-mile radius, and therefore pausing writing new homeowners insurance policies for now. The expert says she's seeing the issue especially in Rockland's 95765 and Folsom's 95630 zip codes. The California Department of Insurance tells ABC 10 if an insurer writes new policies that drive up the concentration of risk in an area, they may hit a point where they say no more new business in that area, at least until that concentration of risk changes. The department says Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara's sustainable insurance strategy, implemented this year, should hopefully entice insurers to return to writing more fully throughout the state and increase availability of coverage. As ABC 10 has reported, the strategy offers tools and reforms the industry has sought for years, but only to companies that agree to write more policies in wildfire-prone areas.
And then you got this middle floor.
But the change won't happen overnight, and in the meantime, developers and brokers like Brown are staying vigilant.
It's solvable. It seems like we're moving through it, but it's definitely a challenge.
In Roseville, Becca Habegger, ABC 10.
Homeowners and renters impacted by the Los Angeles County wildfires have more time to apply for assistance. Governor Newsom today announced the deadline to apply for aid for FEMA has been extended to March 31st. The program provides financial and other assistance to help meet basic needs during wildfire recovery. And streaming right now on our ABC 10 Plus streaming app, you can watch our special investigation into the home insurance crisis. All you have to do is just look for California's insurance crisis on the home screen. ABC 10 Plus is free to download wherever you stream. Rio Vista is the latest Solano County city voting to explore conversations about annexing land with proposed new city, California Forever. So City Council voted unanimously on Tuesday to give the city manager permission to explore annexation of an undefined amount, but not all of California Forever's land. The mayor said next steps would include hiring professionals to advise them and the right lawyers. But Rio Vista residents want to make sure their small town still keeps its charm.
I want to see it stay a small town.
On the one hand, you can't fight development forever, but on the other hand, you can do something sensible.
California Forever told ABC 10 they look forward to having a conversation when they receive an invitation to explore annexation from Rio Vista. All right, now to the trade war with Mexico and Canada. President Trump says more changes could be coming as soon as next week. The president says his ongoing tariff negotiations will continue to see what he calls changes and adjustments.
There'll always be some modifications. I mean, if you have a wall in front of you, sometimes you have to go around the wall instead of through it. But I think very little.
Trump is now threatening a reciprocal 250% tariff on Canadian dairy and lumber items.
Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products.
It comes after Trump gave Canada and Mexico a short-term deal yesterday, avoiding the 25% tariff on goods until April 2nd. That's when his reciprocal tariffs kick in, meaning whatever tariffs are imposed on the U.S., tariffs of the same percentage will be imposed in return.
Our country, from an economic standpoint and financial standpoint and a trade standpoint, has been absolutely ripped off by almost every country in the world: Canada, Mexico, and then you just go right down the line.
Trump says he's imposing tariffs for multiple reasons, including as a way he believes will create manufacturing jobs in the U.S.
We're going to bring back our business into this country. We need it from a job standpoint.
The new jobs report today shows 151,000 new jobs were added to the workforce last month. That is slightly below economists' expectations. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says the economy is in, quote, good place despite what he calls high levels of uncertainty from new policies, including tariffs. For the second time this week, California Attorney General Rob Bonta filed a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration. And this one is over the firing of federal probationary employees. And those are workers that are on the job for less than a year. Now, Bonta calls the mass firings arbitrary, illegal, and a violation of Federal Administrative Procedures Act. According to law, when 50 or more employees are laid off, the agency must give at least 60 days advance notice to state governments.
Right here in California, federal employees heavily contribute to our economy by paying state income taxes and generating substantial local revenue. This reckless action has already caused a 149% increase in state unemployment benefit claims by federal workers.
19 other attorneys generals are also part of this lawsuit. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is considering running for California governor. Sources tell ABC News Harris plans to make a decision by the end of summer. Harris would join a list of candidates that include Democrats like Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, State Superintendent of Schools Tony Thurmond, and California Democratic Vice Chair Betty Yee. And last month, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco became the highest profile Republican to join the race. For the first time in more than a decade, a death row inmate was executed by firing squad. Brad Sigmund died after being shot by 3 prison employee volunteers with rifles. Sigmund killed his ex-girlfriend's parents with a baseball bat in their South Carolina home back in 2001 in a botched plot to kidnap their daughter. The 67-year-old chose the firing squad because his lawyer said he considered it to be a better option than the electric chair or lethal injection. Next, on To the Point, thousands of deaths in California from stimulant overdoses. Now a new program is using gift cards to help users become clean.
We've got really nice weather on the way for this weekend. Very seasonal, plenty of sunshine, but changes on the way for next week.
And shoppers may soon see a spike in their prices of almonds, not because of tariffs, but because of a lack of bees.
This year has been particularly bad.
How growers are dealing with the challenges. Welcome back in. I am very excited about this weekend's forecast. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous outside.
Yeah, and we'll have a later sunset by the time we get to Sunday evening as well. Speaking of sunset, let's take a look outside. I've got some of the Alert California cameras. Sutter Buttes, Georgetown, Bend Bolts overlooking the Sacramento, and then Wairika, Shasta as well. So sun is on the way down right now, but it'll be a totally different story by the time we get to Sunday, like I said, because we're moving those clocks forward. So tomorrow, sunrise 6:27 in the morning, sunset at 6:06. We've got 11 hours and about 11 hours, 40 minutes of daylight. On March 9th, sunrise 7:25 Sunday morning, sunset 7:07 Sunday. Obviously, because of daylight saving time, move those clocks forward. Sunday is our first 7 o'clock sunset of the year. 60 right now in Sacramento, 61 in Elk Grove, 59 Stockton, 61 in Modesto, 50 Placerville, 32 in Truckee, 32 in South Lake Tahoe. Through the next few hours, we're going to drop through those 50s, 40s by the time we get to 11 o'clock. Clear skies means we are going to cool off overnight tonight. We're going to start off in those mid-30s in Sacramento, Elk Grove, Vacaville, Fairfield, upper 30s in the San Joaquin Valley, 37 Stockton and Manteca, 38 Modesto and Tracy, upper 30s and low 40s in the foothills. But look at this, low teens, 12 degrees, Truckee, 12 degrees in South Lake Tahoe to start Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, though, is going to be very sunny, very seasonal. You won't even need the jacket. Upper 60s, close to 70 in places like Manteca, Tracy, Modesto, and Stockton. Tomorrow, I've got 67, Sacramento 67, and Vacaville and Fairfield as well, 50s to 60s in the foothills, upper 40s and low 50s in the high country. So, yeah, Saturday, cold morning, but a seasonal afternoon, really nice. Sunday, very much the same. A cold start, but a touch warmer, much closer to 70 across the valley. Clouds do build in late, though, on Sunday, and we'll see that here on Futurecast. By the time we get towards about 6 o'clock or so in the evening, clouds build in. Monday does look fairly cloudy, but we'll see a much bigger pattern change by the time we get towards Wednesday, as we'll have heavy rain and heavy snow across the region. We're also going to have some strong winds picking up as we go through the daytime on Wednesday. So weather impact alert Wednesday and Thursday. Enjoy the next couple of days. Temperatures are going to be absolutely terrific, but we're back to cooler and wetter next week, Alex.
All right, Brendan, thank you. Next, on to the point, a pilot program is showing some positive results in helping drug users in their journey to get clean. And on the back roads, a trip to the Sierra foothills where dogs are the real winners at an annual celebration and food fight honoring the region's rich Cornish history. A pilot program that gives gift cards to meth users who become clean is seeing some positive results. One Bay Area county is one of several in the state participating in the program. Reporter Tim Johns has a closer look.
Almost 2 years after it started, officials in Marin County say its pilot program that gives gift cards to meth users is a massive success.
Honestly, we don't have a lot of alternatives for stimulant use. So for opioid use disorder, or for alcohol use disorder, or even nicotine addiction, we have medications for addiction treatment, but for stimulants, we don't have something like that that's FDA approved.
The idea behind the program is that at least once a week, participants with a history of drug use get tested. If their test results come back clean, they're then rewarded a gift card to one of dozens of retailers of their choice, with options including Walmart, Safeway, or even Apple. So far, 94 people have taken part in Marin's program, earning thousands of dollars in gift cards. One of the organizations participating in the gift card program is the Ritter Center. Their CEO tells me they're currently working with 19 individuals as a part of it, and that the progress has been overwhelmingly positive. Ritter Center CEO Mark Shotwell says the program has been an effective way of helping treat people in ways beyond just their substance abuse. He says once someone is introduced to their staff, it's easier to connect them with other wraparound services they may need.
If we think about what happens with stimulants or other drugs that people use, they are a very positively reinforcing substance, right? So if you can replace that reinforcement with a positive reinforcement that is healthy, then people are able to utilize that to be able to let go of the substance.
Marin is one of several counties around the state participating in the pilot program, which is run through Medi-Cal. Given the results, officials hope that once it's over, a permanent replacement will take over.
Anything that we can do when people want to quit to support them in that journey has so many positive ripple effects.
Sacramento County is on the list of counties chosen to participate in the Recovery Incentive Program. The county told us today that they haven't implemented the program, but they do have interest in doing so. A measles outbreak is growing in multiple states, including here in California. As of Thursday, the CDC counts a total of 222 cases in 12 states with 2 confirmed deaths. The majority of cases affect children under 19 years old. In 94% of the cases, the patient is either unvaccinated or their vaccination status is unknown. The CDC and the Department of Health recommend the vaccine to keep children from getting the disease. Agricultural leaders are warning the price you pay for almonds after this coming harvest could be higher than usual. Almond blossom season is starting to wrap up, and according to the California Farm Bureau Federation, there are concerns there may not be enough honeybees to pollinate the 2025 crop. Pollination from bees is, of course, the most critical for varieties of almonds, and industry leaders say they are still trying to figure out why so many bees didn't survive the winter. At the same time, they say almond growers are feeling another sting.
I heard from a lot of guys that the blooms just weren't quite as strong. They didn't have quite as many as they typically get. Thoughts where this could relate back to the real hot streak we had last August.
Some farmers we spoke with today said they hadn't seen these issues in their orchards, and they do not really know the exact impacts it'll have on their orchards. Another issue that they're also watching is the possibility of tariffs and what that could do to increase prices. You never know what you'll see on the back roads, and right now John Bartel is taking us out to Grass Valley to witness an annual food fight where in the end, dogs are the real winners.
Every year on the first weekend of March, people and their dogs from all over the Sierra foothills make their way to the little gold rush town of Grass Valley. They've come here to watch and clean up after a fierce rivalry between the towns of Grass Valley and Nevada City.
We have our reasons for believing our towns are the best in western Nevada County.
Yes.
And this, in part, proves it.
This is the annual St. Piran's Day Pasty Toss. An odd food fight in which rival city leaders essentially throw Cornish-style pastries at a target in the middle of the street.
There are dogs in this town who, when the weather turns bright like this, just before spring, they start to get excited about coming down here to get themselves some dog pasty.
Well, if you're unfamiliar with a pasty, the Grass Valley Pasty Co. has been making them for 40 years in this location, and they know a thing or two about it.
You should. Yeah, it's like a giant English empanada, if you will.
Pasty company owner Jesse Paquin says the pasty was a traditional meal brought over by Cornish miners. It's often made with meat, potatoes, and other savory ingredients, all sealed up in dough with a special fold-over crust called a crimp.
And they would have eaten the pasty and left the crimp, and they would have thrown the crimp down into the mine shaft, and that would appease the ghosts so there wouldn't be any cave-ins.
The pasty toss is an homage to all the tinners, which were Cornish tin miners who left Cornwall, Great Britain, to work in the gold mines of both Grass Valley and Nevada City.
Before World War I, 3/4 of Grass Valley, Cornish. And then before World War I, in Nevada City, about 1/3 were Cornish.
Town crier Paul Haas says, along with pasties, the Cornish people brought over the St. Piran's Day celebration.
And St. Piran is the patron saint of Cornish miners, and there's a whole legend that goes on beyond that, where he lived to be 305 and was a jolly fine celebrator as well.
Paul says the way Grass Valley celebrates St. Piran's Day is much different than how the Cornish would celebrate. For one, the Cornish people don't toss pasties at large targets in the streets.
Smash! Smash!
Or let kids smash the pasties with hammers. And they most definitely don't make the pasties out of dog food. From the St. Piran's Day Pasty Toss in Grass Valley, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads. Ah, you're eating that whole thing, huh?
And to find more Bartel's Backroads destinations, you make sure you check out our ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. They are under the shows tab. Just scroll all the way down to travel. You'll see Bartel's Backroads right there. And don't forget, our app is completely free to download. All right, after the break, a popular family event is returning to the capital city. We have a preview of the food and entertainment celebrating our Asian community. The AAPI Night Market is back, and the 4th annual event will take place on Friday, May 30th at the Capitol Mall. It is presented by the Sacramento Asian Pacific Chamber of Commerce, and the event will feature nearly 50 local AAPI-owned businesses and will also include a lot of performances by DJ Lex and DJ Swoosh as well. Early bird tickets are already on sale. General admission just $20, and children 4 and under get in free. As always, thank you so much for watching and for inviting us into your home. If you have something that you think we should be looking into, you already know what to do. You can always reach out to me and the team and send us an email at tothepoint@abc10.com. Remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet, so take the time to get to know someone this weekend. And To the Point does not end here. You can always watch stories that are featured on our show. All you have to do is download our free ABC 10 Plus streaming app straight to your TV. I hope you have a beautiful and safe weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday.